Hey everyone, happy Friday. This is Dr. Eric Fields, the psychologist turned weight loss coach. Today, I am reflecting on an interaction I recently had with one of my clients that was especially positive. This client has been really struggling with motivation. And this last session really clicked for them. And she remarked during the session that, you know, I feel like you made that point another time, or actually a few times, but it was the way that you said it or phrased it this time that really clicked for me. It really stuck. And I kind of had an aha moment, like an epiphany of sorts, which is a lot of times, for whatever reason, and certainly we can speculate as to why this might happen, but it just takes a certain tweaking of the same kind of message for it to really sink in. And then that got me thinking just about my general philosophy to losing weight. And that is, listen, all of us have tried so many different strategies before. And many of us have even tried working with a lot of different professionals before, whether it be a personal trainer, a nutritionist, a weight loss coach like me, or have participated in a weight loss group program, right? Like some of the big names, some of the lesser names, and what have you. But all it takes is just finding that one program or that one person that is just a great fit and is going to really help you. So it was a really interesting experience that I had this week. You know, it went from on a micro scale, sometimes just rephrasing or reframing a certain message in a different way will click, and a person, it will really resonate with the person and inspire them and motivate them and actually lead to action. But on a more macro level, what it also says is sometimes the type of help we receive needs to be very specific, in the sense that if it's a person or a program or strategy, it has to work with our personality, with us. And doesn't that make like a ton of sense, right? Like, there are a lot of people that the big name diets have worked for, or the big name weight loss programs. There are some people that weight loss surgery worked for. There are plenty of people where weight loss coaching has worked. And there are a number of people with all sorts of other strategies that have been helpful to them as well. It really has to do with your personality. And it's something that, as a trained psychologist, I understand more than anything. You know, I've been doing individualized therapy for 2 decades now. And I know very well that the strategies that I come up with for my patients, and now as a weight loss coach for my clients, they have to be individualized, person specific, right? They have to be ones that are going to work with my client's personality. And nothing could be truer than when we're talking about motivational strategies. So right now, a lot of you are stuck in terms of not being able to really find that motivation. And a lot of times I try to think of inspirational videos that can really kind of move you forward. And so you can kind of consider this falling into that category, right? Why are so many of you stuck? Because you don't really want it that bad? No, no. Some of you, but not most of you. Most of you are stuck because you don't believe you can be fixed. And more importantly, you don't believe there's anyone out there or any strategy or approach that can help you. And you have some good evidence for that because you have tried a lot of different strategies and a lot of different professionals or helpers. And it hasn't worked yet. But if you think about that, is that, can we kind of extrapolate from that and say, okay, and therefore I will never be successful, and therefore there is nobody out there who can ever help me, or no approach out there that can ever work for me? Why is that irrational to believe that you're helpless? Well, it's irrational because there's a very good reason why you haven't been able to be helped yet. And it's because there's no one else in the world like you. And I don't mean that in a negative connotation where there's no one in the world like you. You're the only one who will ever struggle with weight loss issues. No, I mean that in a positive connotation, in the sense that, well, yeah, it's understandable that a lot of strategies and approaches haven't worked for you. You're a unique individual. And so it may take a little time before you finally find the right person or the right strategy. But it doesn't mean to give up. And I bet you, now this is just me having faith, but I think I have some support for this. But I bet you that you guys are so close to actually doing it the next time, or in the next couple of tries. Because you've already done a bunch of different approaches already. So I feel like so many of you are you're on the brink of finding that person or that strategy or that approach or that plan, right? I feel like you're just about there. So it's going to take time. Now, sometimes my patients have named this strategy of mine. It has many different variations of this term, but one approach that they've named that I use is the sledgehammer approach, right? Taking a sledgehammer over their head. It's been called many other variations of that, but we'll just call it the sledgehammer approach. And I'm going to use that with you right now. So it's like a super direct approach where you might wince a little bit and feel like you just got punched in the gut. Let me ask you, let's say one of your kids, I know a lot of my followers are parents, let's say one of your kids had some kind of problem, and I'll just keep it vague. And you took them to one professional and they weren't able to help your kid. And you went online, you researched some different strategies, and you tried that, and it didn't help your kid. And you tried another strategy, and you asked your friends, and they gave you some strategies, and you tried several more. And you went back, tried a new professional. After that, a couple more professionals. After that, you joined the parenting group that was specific to that problem. You did a few more strategies. And then eventually you said, I've done everything I can. That's it. I can't help my kid. Would that happen? That would never happen. As parents, we would never, ever stop. We would not give up. That is our kid, and we would keep trying and trying and trying to the day we die to help our kid. That's the way that I want you to think about this. Because guess what? I know it's very easy for us to say, but that's our kids, Dr. Fields. Like, it's different. It's not different. It's not different. In fact, here's another sledgehammer to the gut. I would argue that you are even more important than your kids. I know I said it, right? It's so controversial to say that. How could you say that, Dr. Fields? Simple. You have to be more important than your kids, because if you're not taking care of you, you will not be around to help your kids. Okay? Or you will not be healthy, whether that be from a mental, emotional, or physical standpoint. You will not be healthy enough to help your kids. Either way, you won't be there for them. We need to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of the people we love. If we are not taking care of ourselves, we can't help other people. Now, this is something that as a therapist, I know very well, because all of us therapists remind each of us of that wisdom constantly. Therapists tell other therapists when we feel they're getting burned out or too stressed, hey, you can only give so much to your patients or your clients. You have to also give to yourself and take care of yourself, because if you're not at your best, you can't be at your best for your clients. And this wisdom is exactly the same when we're talking about our roles as parents. So there are several messages here, some more forceful than others. And I really hope that for some of you, if 5 of you, or even 1 of you, gets motivated after watching this video and says, that did it for me, that clicked, I will be extremely happy. And for that 1 person or several, or gosh, it'd be amazing if it was even more, please let me know in the comments section if this video inspired you and you started to take action. And action doesn't mean necessarily that you created a weight loss plan. And action could be as simple as I reached out to someone to help me, a professional or somebody who works with people with weight loss, or I bought a recipe book for healthy meals, right? Or I joined a weight loss support group, whatever. If you sent out an email or you did some action to try to help yourself after watching this video, I will feel like this video was a huge success. So please let me know if that's the case in the comments section. Or if you feel funny about publicly acknowledging that, send me a direct message. This is Dr. Fields. I hope you all have a great weekend. And I will, as always, have more to say about this at another time.